Alcatraz, the Rock. Virtually escape-proof and probably the most notorious prison in the history of the United States. A temporary home to infamous criminals ranging from Al Capone to Whitey Bulger. So why did it close in 1963 after just 29 years in operation and morph into one of San Francisco's most famous tourist attractions? First, a little history. The islands of San Francisco Bay were initially documented in the late 18th century by Spanish explorer Juan Manuel de Ayala, who gave the island, later dubbed Yerba Buena, the name Isla de Alcatrazes, an old-fashioned term for Island of the Pelicans. Englishman Frederick Beechey, using Ayala's chart of the area, later applied the name to a smaller island in the bay a little more than a mile from modern-day San Francisco. Ownership of the island changed hands many times in the early 19th century, when a lighthouse was built there. It is the oldest operating lighthouse on the west coast of North America. After California came into U.S. possession following the Mexican-American War, a military fort was built on Alcatraz. The fort quickly became a military prison, and it remained so until the Department of Justice took possession of the military barracks in 1933 and turned the island into a federal penitentiary the following year. The strong tidal currents, which flow out through the Golden Gate Strait and into the Pacific Ocean, and icy water temperatures make swimming and navigating the water extremely difficult. Perfect conditions for a prison, in theory. A total of 36 prisoners made 14 escape attempts over the years, but none were considered successful. 5 prisoners have been classified as missing and presumed drowned because they were never caught or seen again. The most famous of these attempts became the basis for the 1979 Clint Eastwood film, Escape from Alcatraz. So why would an escape-proof prison with a notorious reputation ever be shut down? The answer has nothing to do with its suitability. It has everything to do with money. Operating Alcatraz costs 3 times as much as other federal prisons. There are no bridges to the island, and there is no natural source for fresh water. Everything had to be shipped to the prison by boat, including 1 million gallons of fresh water every week. Additionally, the harsh weather, particularly the salt air, corroded structures on the island, which required constant and expensive maintenance. Running it as a prison just wasn't worth it, especially considering that the average prisoner population was only about 270, less than 1% of the federal prison population overall. Making it a tourist attraction in 1973 made much more sense in terms of a bottom line. It generates about $60 million in revenue by drawing 1.4 million visitors every year. Its popularity, fueled by Hollywood, has made it not just financially viable, but legendary. There's nothing quite like San Francisco's Rock.